Hi everyone, welcome if you are a new watcher. Welcome back if you are a returning, watcher or new or returning to the channel. What I'm going to do is I'm basically going to talk you through the curriculum and the topics of the CFA exam, level 1 at least, and then I'm also going to talk to you about the exam overview so that you have a better understanding of it. And then I'm mainly going to touch on how I prepped for CFA. So I registered last year, to October, November, for this year's, May session, which gave me, I think, let's say November, December, Jan, Feb, March, April, May, let's say 6 months, because I'm not sure when in November. So that gave me 6 months. It was level 1 and I was pretty comfortable with that. The keys obviously being consistent, we all know this, but not everyone has the keys, right? So if you come here, so I just googled CFA and then I went to the first, 2 links. So it talks through the CFA program curricula. It's quite steep in terms of the price. Like if you take that 1140 and I'm going to multiply it by about 18.5, that's about 21,000, right? And obviously this is the basic, this is just the exam. If it's the first time you're registering, there's also a fee for that. If you are adding more materials or more mock exams, there's an extra or an additional fee for that, and so forth. So what it says here is that the official, curriculum gives us a solid foundation of knowledge that investment firms expect from finance professionals. It's equipped with critical advanced investment analysis and portfolio management skills, and you'll be able to meet today's challenges in investment management head on. Find out more about the CFA program curricula across the different exam levels, what topics are covered, and how the curriculum has been expanded to include the practical skills module. You'll remember I added in my video where I talked about my results for level 1 that the practical skills module is what held me back from getting my results on Friday. So how is it structured? There's level 1. It's an MCQ question which tests your knowledge of key terms, concepts, and formulas that are the foundation of the investment industry. So that's what we're going to be focusing on this video. And then here it also talks about the topics that are covered. So level 1, like it says, it has 10 skills. I don't think we're going to need, or we will actually also come to that. But let's focus here. So level 1. There's ethics and professional standards, so that has a weight of about 15 to 20% in the exam. So what I did to prepare for the ethics section is I did a recording. So I did voice recordings on my phone, and then I would listen to them, because it's when I was taking public transport in Feb, March, April. That's when I covered ethics. So I was taking public transport. So what I would do is I would record them when I got home. I would read it out loud to myself, and then I would listen to it on the bus. 2 reasons. 1, it's easier than reading because it's very wordy. It's not mathematical. The other thing is that I could obviously use AI, like I could copy the work and put it in ChatGPT or whatever. The reason I didn't do that is that it is beneficial for me to hear myself than hearing a generic voice. I feel like it sticks more. So that really helped me there. Quant methods, that's about 6 to 9%. Look, I didn't focus too much on this one because it has a smaller weight, and because I did maths and stats, and I did economics and a little bit of economics, in varsity. But I do think I could have done a bit better here, and that's just because I didn't focus on it too much. So this one just requires practice. Same with economics. It's got a smaller weight and you feel a bit comfortable because you've got a little bit of an ecos, course or 2 from university. It just needs practice, same as quant methods. Financial statement analysis is 11 to 14%. That one is quite extreme. Financial statement analysis needs, bum to chair. It needs you to sit down and work through it. And that's how I prepared for it as well. Then you've got corporate issuers, which also speaks to financial statements analysis in a way, because it tells you about the types of companies that have financial statements. that you will analyze, right? So it all comes together. That also needs bum to chair. It needs you to sit. For corporate issuers, you can also do the read aloud because it is also quite wordy. Then you've got equity investments, which is also quite, it's got quite a bit of a weight. That's 11 to 14%. Very mathematical. Practice, practice, practice. I really enjoyed that one. Fixed income, 11 to 14%. I found that quite tricky. But also quite mathematical, really enjoyable. But if you are new in the space, it's a bit tricky. I found it quite tricky. Derivatives, 5 to 8%. I really enjoyed it. I enjoy derivatives as a concept in general. I always have. But yeah, so that's also just bum to chair, practice, practice, practice. And then you've got alts, which are alternative investments. So if you don't know now, you know. I work in a hedge fund. So I found alternative investments really interesting. It was a mixture of mathematical and a mixture of conceptual. So it's a bit of both over there. So you just need to sit through it. The weight isn't as big as I would have, enjoyed, seeing as a lot of the information there is future-based or futuristic, if I may. So I found that quite interesting. I do hope that, in future exams, the weight is a bit more. And then portfolio management is about 8 to 12%. It's a mixture of a bit of everything, and it's obviously optimizing your portfolio, what needs to go into that, and obviously the risk elements. So those are, the skills needed for level 1. And then they talk about the real life practical skills modules, which is the PSM. So they say here the core of the CFA program curriculum teaches you the fundamentals of investment tools, valuing assets, portfolio management, and wealth planning. But the best way to develop your knowledge is to put it to the test. To ensure you thrive in your current or future role, the CFA program curriculum has been expanded to include practical, relevant skills training. So you can apply what you're learning in the curriculum to real-world scenarios. A PSM uses a combo of videos, MCQs, guided practice, and case studies to develop your practical skills. In order to receive your exam results, Tando didn't read this, you will be required to complete at least one PSM at each level. You may begin your PSM topic at any time after registration, and each PSM takes 10 to 20 hours to complete. I took about maybe 5 hours because I started on the Excel one, and then I didn't really like it. And a friend of mine was like, just do the Python one because you already know how to code in Python. So I did that one, and it took me about 4.5, 5 hours end to end. So just consider that. I don't know, obviously, for level 2 and level 3, what that looks like. But yeah, don't forget to do this because they will hold your result back. Okay, so they've got frequently asked questions. How does the CFA curriculum integrate ethical and professional standards? So the curriculum is developed through an education advisory committee that includes industry practitioners, security market regulators, university faculty, and policymakers. There's also a topic dedicated to ethics and professional standards and the role they play in the investment industry. Can you buy a print version? Yes, the curriculum is available as a set of 6 volumes. Registered candidates can purchase by signing in to candidate resources and selecting the print curriculum option. How does the CFA Institute ensure the curriculum remains relevant to the investment industry? We continuously evolve the CFA program curriculum through a process called practice analysis. This involves working with practicing investment management professionals, university faculty, and regulators to determine the critical knowledge, skills, and abilities that are needed in the investment role today. And then how often is the program updated? This is important because there are a lot of people who have to repeat. The curriculum continuously evolves as we gather direct feedback, insight, and perspective from industry practitioners through the process of practice analysis. Each year, we summarize what we have learned and polish this in the practice analysis annual review. Right, now I'm going to come here. So they're basically saying about level 1, key information. It's basically learning and describing. It tests knowledge of key terms, concepts, and formulas that are the foundation of the investment industry. There are 180 multiple choice questions. On average, you should allow approximately 90 seconds for each multiple choice question. There are 235-minute sessions. Each session consists of 90 multiple choice questions. Session times are approximate. The multiple choice is on a computer, right? So this is a nice guide. You can watch this video in your own time. How long does it take to study? They're saying the program enables candidates to customize their prep to match individual needs and circumstances. Successful candidates report studying over an average of 300 hours for each level. I didn't calculate hours. And then here it's organized by topics. We already saw these ways on the on the previous page. And let's look at this. All right. Okay, this is just a breakdown of the individual topics. I think you can go through that on your own. And then this is errata. So they'll issue errata if you had the previous semester's notes. Excuse me. And then the format here, it's MCQs, 180 MCQ questions, no negative marking. You familiarize yourself with the format, which will help you approach the exam efficiently, manage your time effectively, and avoid common pitfalls. So the structure, like I said, 180 MCQs, split between 235 sessions. Exam duration, 135 with an optional break between sessions. And then each MCQ question consists of a stem, which is a question, a statement, and or a table, as well as 3 choices, A, B, or C. 2 formats are used: sentence completion with 3 unique choices, or questions with 3 unique choices. And then they give you examples of that. Then there's a question structure. The level 1 exam does not use except true or false in items and avoids the use of not whenever possible. When appropriate, question stems will include one of the following qualifiers: most likely, least likely, best described, most appropriate, most accurate, least appropriate, or least accurate. Each question stem supports only one item on the exam. Answer choices. The exam does not use any of the following answer choices: all of the above, none of the above, A and B only, B and C only, A and C only, cannot determine, cannot calculate, or not enough information to determine. So choices consisting of words or sentences are typically ordered from shortest to longest. Choices that are quantitative are ordered from the smallest number to the largest number, and the choices agree grammatically with the question stem. Language common to all choices is placed in the question stem. And then all questions are equally weighted, and there is no penalty for an incorrect answer. Level 1 exam tips. Here are some practical tips to help you perform your best. Financial statement analysis. So questions on this topic are based on IFRS, unless otherwise noted. If a question references US GAAP, it will be explicitly stated. There's no penalty for guessing, so be sure to answer every question. Know your calculator. Make sure you know how to use the calculator features needed to solve the formulas and examples shown in the curriculum. Familiarity with your calculator will save valuable time during the exam. So I use the BA2 Plus. I'm going to go on the website and I'm going to show you where they talk about the type of calculators that are allowed. The way that you get comfortable with your calculator is by practicing. There's no other way. I use the BA2 Plus Texas Instruments. Dress for comfort. There's no official dress code, but dressing in layers will allow you to adjust the room temperature and remain comfortable during the exam. Remember, it's PC based, so they can turn up the aircon, so those layers are important. Exam hardware and software. Make sure you're aware of how hardware and software test settings might affect your experience. Proctor assistance. During the normal course of the exam, candidates may find they need assistance from proctors. Proctors will come to workstations as quickly as possible to assist. If able, we encourage candidates to continue working on the exam until a proctor has assisted. That's a time-based exam, so be aware of that. Our exam writers have designed the exam to account for minor disruptions or pauses in order for candidates to still have adequate time to respond to all questions. So it's a 3-hour exam, which is, what is that? It's 180. It's 180 minutes to They said it's 135 minutes. Did I not read that correctly? 235 minutes. So it's 135 divided by 90. So it's 1.5. So it's 90 seconds per minute. Per question. So that's where you need to be, in touch with your calculator so that you don't waste time, because a lot of questions will take more than 90 seconds, but then questions that you feel are easier, that you've practiced a bit more, can help you allocate that time accordingly. And then the sample questions here. Maybe we can click on the sample questions, but I'm more interested in the calculator. I don't know if I can click on that. Let me just see. I'll search for calculator. I know they're very particular on the type of calculator, so just be mindful that you're buying the correct calculator. Yeah. So they've got an exam calculator policy. Only 2 calculator models are authorized. So there's the Texas Instruments BA2 Plus. That's what I have. Texas Instruments BA2 Plus. They also allow the BA2 Plus Professional. There's a Hewlett Packard 12C, the 12C Platinum, the 12C 25th Anniversary, 30th Anniversary, and HP 12C Prestige. They ask you to bring the approved calculator with you on exam day. You may not borrow from the test center. You may not borrow from or share with another candidate during the exam. The calculator will be inspected prior, and then they ask you to clear the memory, right? Use or possession of an unauthorized calculator during the exam will result in your exam results being voided. Failure by the proctors to detect an unauthorized calculator prior to the start of the exam, or your possession and or use of an unauthorized calculator at any time during the exam does not imply you're in compliance with the calculator policy. Calculator covers, keystroke cards, and loose batteries are permitted in the testing room. Instruction manuals are not. You may keep a small screwdriver with you necessary if you need to replace your batteries in the BA2 Plus. So I was repeating, what's the name? I was repeating CFA, which means that I've been around. I've used this baby quite a bit before. I've also written A211, which is food maths through the Actuarial Society of South Africa, twice, also using this baby. What that means is I am likely going to need a battery replacement, and soon. So this is what they're saying is allowed. They will check this for any notes. So don't try and be smart. You can just use all of that effort into, studying. So that is the calculator policy. Here we're going to look at, multiple choice questions, sample questions that they are looking at. So in ethics, question 1, which of the following statements is most accurate? Ethics can be described as a commitment to upholding the law, an individual's opinion, personal opinion about right and wrong, a set of moral principles that provide guidance for our behavior. Correct. Your solution C is correct. Ethics can be guided as a set of moral principles that provide guidance for our behavior. These may be moral principles shared by a community or societal groups. Quant methods, you'll need a calculator. So they're giving you a scenario and you need to calculate. This is also ethics. That's also ethics. And then this is also quants. All right. Which of the following statements is true in the use of machine learning? So this would fall under alternative investments. Some techniques are termed black box due to data biases. Human judgment is not needed because algorithms continually learn from data. Training data can be learned too precisely, resulting in inaccurate predictions when used with different data sets. That's overfitting. Yeah. Then you've got your economics. Also, you need math for that. They're giving you total variable cost and total fixed cost. Then, so cost curves. And then which is true regarding countries' political cooperation. So this speaks about geopolitics. I found this very, in 2025, I found this very relevant, the geopolitics, section of economics. And then you've got exchange rates. That's what you're seeing there. And then here, corporate issuers. So which of the following organizational forms provides the least owner liability of business debts? So you have to be mindful of the least. So a general partner, a private limited partner, and a sole proprietorship. A sole proprietor is a person, or seven's are one man. A general partner is the big boy. So private limited company is the correct answer. And then question 11, there's a corporation which is experiencing liquidity challenges. As an analyst, you note 3 recent trends related to their working capital. So this is financial statement analysis. A decrease in average days sales outstanding as a drag on liquidity. An increase in days of inventory on hand. Oh, the ratios. Yeah. And then you've got question 12. Again, ratios. Question 14. IFRS, so financial statement analysis. The questions are, I'm not reading them correctly. They're coming like this, which is a bit hard to look at. So this is corporate issuers, yeah. Then they give you some some questions on equity investments. Wordy, but it's also a mixture of words and some calcs. So security market index is a definition. And then also here a definition, but there is quite a lot of calculations under equities. And then fixed income, they're asking for some math over there. Then exceptions to maturity, that's wordy, but that's also coming under fixed income. Statements regarding securitized products, so that's wordy. And then 23, 23, they're asking futures price and a spot price. Then that's also math. And then shareholders claim in terms of payoff, that's derivative. That's also derivatives. And then alternative investments or alts. And then you've got portfolio management. And yeah, I think you can go through this example, in your own time. I think we've covered basically everything. So like I said, I prepped by practicing, quant, economics, finstat, fixed income, equity, derivatives, ethical and professional standards. You could read and then just listen to it again. So I didn't make notes on ethics and professional standards. I just went back to the voice recordings. Economics, I did a mixture of notes and voice recordings because there's some math and there's some words. Corporate issuers, I did mostly voice recordings as well. Fixed income, maths, equity investment, maths, derivatives, maths, alts, a combination of maths and words, portfolio management, maths. I'm gonna cut the video here. Please shout out if you've got any more questions. Everything is online. You literally just have to Google, CFA Google search, and then everything that you need to know will be here. Maybe let me show you the dates. Because everyone's asking level 2. Everyone was asking me in the office today. But for level 1, these are the exam windows. So they've got the August 2025 exam, which is next. They're basically saying, what? Yeah, so the registration window was November 2024, and so that window is closed. You can't register for level 1 for August 2025. So for November 2025, you can register up until the 5th of August. So registration is opened. We're here now. So registration closes on the 5th of August for the November exam. And then you can reschedule. You can reschedule again at a cost, of course. And then the dates are between the 12th and the 18th. So you pick a date. So I don't like a date that's the first. I don't like a date that's the last. I'll actually just write in the middle. It doesn't really make much of a difference because when you're booking, you don't know how ready you are. You just hope that on the day you're ready to sit. Then there's that one-time enrollment fee, like I said, for first timers, right? Let's look at level 2, right? Because those are the big girl dates that we're dealing with. So for August 2025, I've already missed that because that would have ended on the 6th of May. So people might be wondering, can I register for an exam before your other exam has come out? I'm not sure, and I also don't know if I would want to. I'm gonna be honest with that. And if things don't go well, there's a 250 USD. What is that? 250 times 18.5, 4.6. So you want to put 4.6 on the line? I doubt. So level 2 August 2025 is out. Then there's November. So here I've got until the 5th to register, but that gives me July, August, September, October. That gives me exactly 4 months. November, because it's mid-November. Thoughts are being thunk. After November, it's May 2026. That gives me July, August, September, October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March, April. It's 10 months, but because registration only opens on the 12th, I'll only have access to the material on the 12th. Do you see what I mean? So there's July. All of July, I would take a month off. And then mid-April, I would register and basically get access. So it would give me 9 months if I counted correctly. So let's say September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. It would give me 9 months. I'm not going to count the half April because I'm probably going to take off half of, December to catch a tan. So yeah, it would give me 9 months, May 2026. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the different dates for my level 2. Should I risk it all and do November? August is out. I've passed 6 May, so the what's name is out. I can't register for that. what do you think about the November 2025? There's a mate of mine who is, considering November 2025, and she wants me to hop on the bandwagon, because she says at least we'll have level 2 down before bonus time. And I'm like, nah, bro, I don't want to risk it. If not, to make sure. Let me know what you guys think. Also, let me know, would you guys be willing and able to join like study with me type of situations? I think I started a bit of those, but then no one really joined when I was busy with that, and I did them on TikTok. Here I would do them on YouTube, maybe like 2-hour sessions on weekends or on evenings. Let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. Let me know which exam I should, what's the name, let me know which exam period I should probably go for and why, and let me know which of these topics interests you. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching thus far, much appreciated. And thanks to everyone who congratulated me when I posted that I passed level 1. Massive feat, really excited, really proud of myself. I really just want to thank my dad for choosing my mom, because you guys know, like, intelligence comes from the mom. So thanks.